Okay, you got time to touch the other one if you want to touch on it. And, I mean, with the security system, I know at times we do go into closed session, but we can keep it vague enough for now, can't we, Josh, as far as?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
You've got an extra one.
Regular football, though.
I know, yeah, exactly.
All right, so a couple of things I'll point out on this. Essentially what I've handed you is a proposal to upgrade the camera system in the courthouse. When we got the initial bid, we got one bid in. We realized it was gonna be a lot more expensive than what we had initially thought to go through and to upgrade it. And so what I've handed you is I've handed you a proposal to actually get a bid back in that would meet certain requirements as far as to be able to be compliant with certain things so that federal money might be able to be used in the circumstances. A couple of the acronyms are used in here. National Defense Authorization Act is what NDAA stands for, and so that is what we need the cameras to be compliant with. That's what has gone through, and there's certain brands that have been restricted based on where they're made and security concerns. One of the other ones I'll point out, on GIF compliant cameras just means that they're compatible with multiple systems, so that if in the future we ever decided to go away from a system, we might be able to do it in sections, not necessarily doing it all at one time. So that's what, those are the two major things that might stick out to you. What we're looking at is a total of 80 cameras for the system, replacing existing cameras, either through running new cabling throughout the courthouse or using existing cabling to go through and to get this done. I've been told that it might be cheaper than the bid that we currently got if we were willing to go through and utilize some of the existing cabling in the courthouse. So I would be interested in seeing bids. And if someone wants to bid it, either way, I'd be interested in seeing that, as long as they can meet the requirements of going to 4K or 1080p, as long as it meets the recording requirements, and as long as it's functional for what we need here in the courthouse. So I will leave it up to this board to go through to determine what they want to do. I just went through and proposed, this is what we were looking at. I know that's the first bid that we got. I know a couple of you guys got a chance to look at that, but I believe that with that bid, we're going to have to go through, we're going to have to put this out for bid if we're going to go through and proceed.
Does this also encompass, I know that we've talked a little bit about the inside the jail, and this gets that up to where we want to see it also. So are we
Correct.
adding, with this 80, are we
Yes.
adding?
80 is the total, so that's the total with the added cameras. It also
But how many do we have now?
There's approximately 60 some
Okay, so we're
cameras. Yeah, so we're adding maybe 15 to 20 cameras total.
And yes, it was going to be, even, I think after the first of the year, it was going to be above that new limit too.
Correct.
I can't remember, it was going from 50 to maybe 60 or 70, but it was right up in that neck of the woods. So I think it'd be a good idea to have it bid out and go forward.
Yeah,
I know that one time some of our cameras that we had purchased or maybe had on hand, they were, I won't say blacklisted, but it was something like that.
Correct, yeah,
They
and
would
that's-
like us to get those out of the system.
Correct, there's a security concern against certain companies that certain things might be able to be tapped into or other things that are along that line, and that's when the National Defense Authorization Act came through and said, yeah, we're not going to utilize these cameras anymore.
Daniel,
I was just, no, we've talked to Josh, we've talked to the Jordan in the jail, and I think it's wise to move forward. I'd be on board with getting bids and keeping this project moving forward.
Do we, the safety committee, I know that they meet is it quarterly, the safety committee meet? And had they looked through this?
I know that we discussed it, and we've discussed it the last couple meetings where we talked about, but it also blends into the technology as well. So since I happen to sit on both committees, we've talked about it at both at both sections, and it's always been, well, we'll need to, at some point, come in front of this body and have some type of a proposal and see how you guys wanted to proceed.
Okay.
So,
So saying that moving forward, are we comfortable with a document that we have to be able to put out and say, here's the specs, or do we need to develop that to say, this is the specs that we want, this is what we need?
I think that what we have in front of us here essentially is going to be close enough to, it will give people the guidelines that they need. Functionally, they need an 80 camera system. It needs to be able to meet certain video resolutions. It needs to go through and it needs to, they need to tell us, where they're going to be running cabling, whether or not they're going to be working after hours, things along those lines. It's, I think that a majority of what we need is going to be right here in this document. Obviously, maybe we missed something, but I think that this is fairly comprehensive as far as what we're going to need on the video system.
Okay.
I guess one comment I would have is I would be real hesitant to utilize existing cabling at all. Just weak spots, rodent issues. If you're gonna upgrade to new cameras, the cabling should be a part of that, in my opinion.
Okay.
We can have it, like say, bid both ways, and if there's areas that,
Yeah.
yeah. Do we want one of the two committees to be kind of the contact? Would it fit more in the tech, because it's kind of techy to be
I think it probably goes more, it obviously covers both.
both, no doubt about
Because
it.
safety committee does, we do utilize them for certain reports and different things along those lines if anything happens here at the courthouse. But I think more along the lines, I think that would lean towards tech in this circumstance where it's a technical project.
And just in case the bidders have questions or different things like that, that
Sure.
they can come to who they need to get the answers from.
Yeah, I would say probably, most likely, unless Jack opposes, I think probably put it under the tech committee.
Okay. So that maybe yourself and Josh could be contacts on that. Does that
Sounds good.
sounds good? Okay.
And if anybody is gonna need any additional information, obviously they can contact, like you said, one of us, and we can show them, existing stuff and what it might take in order to get the project done.
Do we currently have an external server that our cameras now run through, or would that
We
be an
do
add?
not, we have it's all internal currently, but it's controlled under a pretty extensive, the new server room with the extensive fire suppression system, and it's got good backups. The server room was built correctly. It's really, really nice. I've had a lot of people comment that it's a very, very nice server area for the way that it was built, and it's very, very good for a system like this because we can control it in-house.
But-
And, yeah.
We would still have a separate server for this in there. The room's fine.
In that room, yes.
Yeah.
And it can be accessed if we needed to access it outside,
Yeah.
but it's just over the, you'd have to know how to do it.
Mm.
You have to have the right credentials.
Right.
Do we, sorry, eating my words. Wondering on funding for this, do we think we'll use some ARPA money, and if we
Depends on
do,
what happens here in a few minutes.
that's exactly where I was going. If these gentlemen have a few minutes, do we want to have them wait and see how our bids go, and then so that we could commit the money for this project if there's anything left over after we?
I think at this point in time, it's just a matter of a motion to move forward
Okay.
with the bidding process. And once we get
Okay.
the bids in, we can kind of determine that.
Sure.
Will we have enough time? I thought end of the calendar year we had to have the ARPA money designated by.
We do have.
But we can still, I guess, make that determination
And we can hold
later
off on
if we
making
need to.
anything, yeah, we can change it. I have a feeling that what we have left in there is going to get gobbled up,
Okay. Right.
Mhm.
Well,
That's a feeling.
One of the things I did include in there, just in case federal funds was supposed to be used, that it has to be SAM.gov compliant, so obviously to meet the federal regulations.
okay. Yep. Well, I would make a motion that we direct the Sheriff's Department and the Tech Committee to move forward on bidding out camera project.
I would second that.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please, Mary.
Gross.
Yes.
Bowman.
Yes.
Odd.
Yes.
Sun.
Yes.
Overmeyer.
Yes. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, it is a couple minutes after 9, so we will move forward with the discuss and act on overlay project. It was posted in the newspaper November 15th and 22nd, and we've got a handful.
For everybody. Nope.
I'll be reading.
Okay. I said we can read them if you want. We
I'll
can.
look off of Mary.
Okay.
She'll have
Say
it.
if you want.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hmm.
So, okay, the first one was from Cather. And then they are out of Cather and Sons Construction out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Okay, so Harvey helped me with the numbers. The C93 is, do you know,
That's the county number.
Okay.
The ladder numbers there, like,
L273.
yes,
So
that
you
is,
Which one? I'm just, which one is that?
I believe that is Country Club Avenue.
Okay,
It's Country Club Avenue, well,
maybe it says on here. Let me look a little further. I just seen the number. Okay, Southwest Overlay Country Club Avenue, thank you. So that's the L273.
yes,
Total price on it is $269,165.47. 269,165.47.
You really should only just see the total project. Just so
You don't want me to split them apart?
no, because everything will be based on the total project.
Okay. Total for the whole project, all three put together, $709,424.07.
Start that date. Might be on the next page.
It's getting there. After May 1, 2025, for start date on 273, 276, 277, and end before October 1st, 2025. And there was a bid bond with this one also. Okay. Number 2 is from Pavers. Bid bond is accompanying it inside. Total for Pavers, $670,847.37. 670,847.37. Start 9/1 of 2025 and 9/30 of 2025. On or before 9/1 of 2025. That's the bid bond there. Constructors out of Lincoln. Bid bond does accompany it also. Total $844,946.26. 844,946.26. Start date 8/26/25 on the first one, 8/9/5 on the second one, and 9/15 on the third. And end date is all three But the very end date is 10/1, October 1 of 2025.
What was that company that was from?
Constructors out of Lincoln. Warner Construction at Hastings. Bid bond once again doesn't accompany it. Total for the project, $782,316.13. 782,316.13, 0.13. August 11th, start date on the first one, September 1st on the second one, September 16th on the third one, and the last one wraps up September 30th, 2025. And the last one, I believe, is Western. Western Engineering out of Harlan, Iowa. Total project, $882,515.56, 882,515.56. On or before 9/11/2025 and 10/1/2025 finish date. And I assume you gentlemen will like to go and look through everything?
Yes, sir. We'll go double check the list. The bid bond list for Western was included.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, thank you. Okay, we'll move on,
Right? I know.
move on with the, discuss and act on drawdown number 2. The money did come in, $114,563.69. And this is for the Four Corners Health Department. So that money did come in, so we need to forward it on to Four Corners.
Move to approve funding transfer to Four Corners.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion? And we have no others in the pipeline right now, do we?
No, just that one.
Just that one. Okay. Roll call, please.
Bowman,
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Overmeyer.
Yes. Okay, discuss and act on designating a county newspaper and county website for publication purposes for 2025. This is an annual, what we do every year. Obviously, the News Times is still here, and a representative from the News Times here, so. And then our website. And is this by resolution, or is this just
No,
simple motion?
it's simple
Okay.
motion. The depositories are a resolution.
Okay. So all we need is a motion. Seen in the newspaper, one article the other day that Valentine was close to losing their newspaper.
Mhm.
A couple was gonna give it up, and I don't know what the legislature's gonna do, you know, because
Right.
you're supposed to be able to advertise,
Mhm.
you know, and, well, it's getting tougher for them. We're fortunate yet.
Mm-hmm.
What's your wishes? Well, I'd make a motion that we designate York News Times as a county newspaper and the York County website as our website for the year 2025.
Second.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Overmeyer.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Rhodes,
Yes.
Bowman,
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Okay, next up is discuss and act on adopting resolution naming county depositories for 2025. I don't have my computer open, but that list was on there, right?
We didn't get a full, just named them here, but which ones are we going for?
Well,
All of them?
There's Cornerstone Bank, Midwest Bank, York State Bank, and then we.
Henderson State Bank.
Henderson State Bank.
and Pate,
In Pate.
and Pate,
Yes.
and then the Union Bank asked here.
In paint is Union.
I could go.
Well,
through
Union
those.
asked to be.
Oh, are we
so
switching?
I think there's,
We can just add them.
you have the list, we'll just leave it at that, just to make sure we name them right. I thought so
Interesting.
too, but
Yeah.
it indicates that there must be different, or maybe they split in some way. The
Maybe.
Pate was.
Okay. And this is in fit,
Yep.
not in, okay.
Now, to my knowledge, we don't have any money there.
Right.
But if the circumstance arose where their money was, their
Yeah.
interest was better, it would
Right.
make sense to add them
Yeah.
to the list.
Yep. They have a branch here, and
Yeah.
I thought we had, and maybe we did, like you said, maybe they've switched now, so might as well include them.
There you go, get that.
Grab
list.
that full list. We had technical difficulties today, so
Did we
I
drop?
think we had audio, but we didn't have a video.
Yeah, well, I see now the lights aren't on.
Yeah, tried a couple times, but it never would come up.
Okay. And yes, Union Bank, we will ask to add them to the list. Cornerstone Bank, Henderson State Bank, Midwest Bank, and Pate, and York State Bank, or the list, resolution.
Make a motion that we adopt a resolution naming said institutions as county depositories for 2025.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Gertz,
Yes.
Aye.
Yes.
Sykes.
Yes.
Vernon.
Yes.
Overmeyer.
Yes. Okay. There's one item where we have to make a decision on the bid yet, so prior to them coming back, why don't we take a brief recess and see if they're not back, and then we'll take care of that and then jump into the health insurance stuff. So we'll recess for a minute, or probably 5-10 minutes. Maybe your owl will come back on.
There you go.
Shut it down completely. You guys are so quiet about this. With that,
You guys can't, it's on video, you can't see you guys.
You can't hear you,
I can
nothing,
hear Daniel,
and that's all.
you guys either aren't talking
Yeah,
into your mic.
sure.
so it's grabbing it off his computer.
Yeah, it's just the owl went down, and so it's just pulling from right here rather than the whole room must be.
What's this N page? How do you spell that? N page?
We have money with them.
Okay.